For spirituality is never discussed in Ага-хани즘 and never in any matter of Aqidah outside of their imamat. So people never really give much thought to deen and realize the type of religion they are following. And when they ask question, there is no proper channel to address them, and they just give whatever answer they will think satisfy the questioner. Often people are extremely inquisitive, become dissatisfied with the answers, and they end up leaving. But this is not the norm. And even reading the Quran is not taught or encouraged in Ага-хани즘. So most people remain distant for their whole lives and never ask question. Second is the social aspect, and that community is very tight knit. Family is very judgmental. Business pacts with people. So many reverse faces this challenge when they become Muslim. Their jobs are taken away from them by their Ага-хани bosses. They are expelled from their Ismaili housing societies. Nobody gives them their daughter. If they deny going to Jamaat Khana, they are punished with the forced divorces and complete social boycotts. So they are always under pressure by the community, which haunts them on daily basis. And even if they leave Ismailism or Ага-хани즘, they are always being forced and emotionally blackmailed to attend the religious celebration by their family and friends. So these are the particular reasons.
Yeah, I think for people who may be outside of certain countries, like, me being in the USA or other people in Canada or the UK, social boycott may not seem like a big deal because many people have different social circles, right? But in certain other countries where Aga-khanis where you already, as your ethnic race, are a minority, and then, like, for example, it could be in Africa, it could be in India, Pakistan, it could be many other places. When you are a minority, and then on top of that minority, you're a smaller minority, you don't have many options. And so you tend to get your job, you tend to get help, money, fundraising, all this from your own community. And many of these places, they don't have access to loans and banks and things like this. So they generally have to rely on other community members. And oftentimes they moved to a particular country or town because they had an established community there. And without that community, they cannot get another job or another house or another business started. And I've noticed also that Aga-khanis themselves, the community itself, are largely merchants. They're largely in business and trade. And if you're in that field, you have your livelihood heavily depends on relationships. If you sever those relationships, you can't have a functioning business. And so I think one of the ways, what the sister was explaining is that their entire social structure is tied to this Aga-khani hierarchy. And if you choose to go against it and they shun you, you literally have to find a way to survive, because it's not like they're going to kill you, but they will economically and mentally and socially kill you off. So you don't have anything to hold on to anymore. So you're forced to come back, and even if you don't believe it, but you're forced to just keep silent and keep up the charades so that you can survive. That's essentially what happens.
Of course, they even if one of the children accept Islam, they quickly tell them that, okay, whatever you believe, it's okay, keep it in your heart, but you have to come to Jamaat Khana and never to tell other people that you have left Ismailism. That will bring shame to their families. So there are a lot of stories, and every day many of our Ismaili brothers and sisters coming to me and telling me that, Alina, what should we do? They don't allow us to pray inside the home. They don't let us go in the mosque. If they spot us in the masjid, they quickly bring punishment to us. So what should we do? So there are so many problems in this community even after leaving Ismailism.
So I think this would also be a good way to have that final question and kind of wrap things down. But so what would your advice be to Aga-khanis that have now heard this, or maybe they've been doing their own research and they're fed up with it and they really want to leave but they're afraid? What would be your advice to these people that are sincerely trying to leave, but they, like I said, they suffer from this social bond where they cannot leave and they're afraid to? What would be your advice to them?
My advice would be the same, the one my father gave it to me, and Alhamdulillah, it still rings in my head, and that gives me the strength. And he said to me that if you are afraid of humans, then stay as Aga-khani Ismaili. But if you love Allah and only trust Allah, then accept Islam now, because we never know when we will die. So don't waste your time on worshipping Aga Khan and spending your hard-earned money on Aga Khan's un-Islamic lifestyle. Instead, give your money to the poor if you really want to do charity. What benefit is giving money to a super billionaire man who has enough money like Karun and Shaddad? Fear Allah only. You don't need to fear your relatives and friends. They are not coming in your graves to answer the angels. If you have doubts or any questions, talk to a Muslim scholar, someone who has studied the Deen and the Quran and can address all your concerns and questions. Read a Quran translation and realize that this world is meant to test us, and that is, this life is all so short. You could decide to leave Ага-хани즘 before death approaches you, or you could decide to stay in Ага-хани즘 and wait for your time to finish. The choice is yours. It's never late to accept Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly loves you, and if you want Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's protection, it is never too late to accept Islam. Allah is indeed the most merciful. Alhamdulillah.
Beautiful advice. Alhamdulillah, Allah is indeed merciful, and Allah protects those that He loves, and He will guide those that He loves. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those people that He loves and that He guides and protects us, and to keep our hearts firm on His deen. And I think you had one final slide with a website that you wanted to share to the audience before we wrap up here. Did you want to put that on the screen? I think there was a...
Yes, it's just a request that I have this website, and my brother who is helping me throughout my work. I was alone, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent me so many help. And one of the help is my brother JH. I'm not going to take his complete name. And he is helping me in my interviews, in my website. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep him steadfast. And all of my brothers who are helping me and helping my voice to reach to the masses, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help them. All my heart is deeply in prayer for them day and night. And my brothers from the clubhouse also, they supported me a lot. I was alone, and I was the only woman from my Ismaili community who raised the voice. And in start, I was very scared. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has different ways to take His work from His servants. And He gave me one sickness, and after that sickness, I saw that how that is. And after that, I fear all my fears are lost. So please support me. Visit my website, spread the word, show the people that Ага-хани즘 is not Islam. Bring them to the real Islam. Jazakallah khair, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa iyaki. Barakallahu fiki. And on that note, it's a good time to end the show. For those of you that did enjoy the show and benefited from this, please make sure you share this to people that you think might benefit from. And please help out the video by putting a like on the video, and also subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And if you did feel like this show did benefit you and you want to help contribute to the projects that we have going on here, please click the links down below and consider giving a donation, so that we can help keep the lights on and we can, keep this project going. With that being said, we appreciate all of you being here. And alhamdulillah, I believe we had a great presentation by the sister, and she put a lot of work in this, in creating slides and being organized and preparing questions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep her steadfast and keep her firm, and reward her immensely for all the effort that she is doing. It's a difficult job to be doing this as a woman in a minority community that has a lot of influence, that can make your life very difficult. So we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect her and to make sure that she stays safe. Allahumma ameen. And so until next time, when we get a chance to speak and talk to each other, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.